Okay, we have a new recording going. This is a question sharing time after the song ceremony. Thanks for sharing that, Laura. So anybody want to share anything, any thoughts, any questions? You can also just raise your hand and we can have you talk. No questions today. That's okay. That's all right. Okay, here's one. How do we explore our song more for more specifics about our experiences through the eons?
D'Amato and Chia used to say that when we first find our song, it's a little bit like being in a little boat. You're floating along on the ocean, and you come to an iceberg. And it looks like a really giant mountain. It just goes up and up and up and out and out and out and out and out. And you get out of your little boat, you climb on, and you feel it, and climb around and explore. And little by little, you learn about what your song is and what it feels like and what's inside. We learn from the experience of it. I could talk about it for weeks, non-stop, describing all kinds of things about song and song experiences. And it gives you some interesting information, but it still doesn't let you personally know what your own song feels like. Because the only way to do that is to have a song ceremony, to actually feel your real song, and know what it is, and how to get your attention back to it, how to choose it. And you all have that. You've all learned that. You've done that. You've started with that first step experience of feeling and exploring your song. You just climbed onto the iceberg. And we have to go back into that feeling purposefully and explore it. Our memories are in there, in the feeling. It's a feeling, experience thing. You can't think the knowledge into your head, and you can't read it into your head or your mind or your body. You don't get knowingness from just reading, or even just from a lecture, from somebody talking about things. You get real knowingness from your own personal experience. So you have to keep going back into your song and spend very personal, private, quiet time, purposeful, choosing to move your attention deep into your song, to feel and experience it and explore it and see where it takes you. Most of us have had previous human experiences on Earth, but that certainly isn't the only place we've been, because we've been around way too long we've been around so much longer, way farther back than when humans started to be on planet Earth. We go way back. And we can find those memories and experience them again. We can learn from the experiencing, the remembering, the feeling of those memories again. And it is exquisite and fabulous. After a while, you've covered the whole iceberg. You've covered every inch of what's sticking up there. And you're getting a really good feeling about where you've been and who you've been and what you've been and the things that you did and learned, all the experience, the knowingness that you gained and what it gave you, what it gave to your beingness, your song. And then one day you look down in the water and you notice there's a whole lot more. Way more, way bigger than what was sticking up on top of the water. There's that so much more underneath the water of this iceberg. So much bigger. Endless all the way down. Spreading way out. And that's even deeper parts of your song. More and more to explore. More to explore than you can get to in a human life. So that's how we find out what we did, where we went, what we were existing as. I hope that answers.
Mary writes that this answers so many questions. Yeah, it often does. And the question from Lorene, is the thought of happiness, say a future event, useful as a past memory? I have less success with past memories. Is a feeling of happiness your song, no matter where it comes from?
The basic quality of our song is happiness, joy, peace, love, a passion for living, deep sense of aliveness, experience of aliveness and connectedness. So whatever is bringing that to you, and it's not cluttered up with some cultural thing, some piece of programming or blind beliefs, then that will tune you into your song. I hear from students from time to time, it's not uncommon at all. They make their first attempt for a song ceremony and they can't find a happy memory. And they start getting uptight. And that makes them really not find any happy memories. And that's part of our culture. We're trained to ignore things that are happy and fun and to turn them off and forget about them. And you might remember, maybe you went to the park and with friends, family, and you had a super good time. There were such beautiful things and happy things there and things that you did. Our masks help us tone it down. Masks don't want you to be that happy because if you stay that happy for very long, you're going to realize what the happy feeling really is. And you're going to know that the masks are all a lie. And that the happy feeling is your song and your truth. That's the truth of who and what we are. So their job is to turn the volume down, turn it off, make you forget. But you remember that, oh yeah, we went to the park, it was fun, it was good, yeah. Everybody had, nice time. But the super joy of it, those super joy moments of it are covered up. They're blocked out. But we do have them. Sometimes our masks cut this stuff short. We come across something, an exquisite sunset, and it's kind of a surprise, and it just takes your breath away, and it brings all this joy. It's so beautiful, and it's so big and so exquisite. You're feeling your song when you feel something like that, and your masks shut it down so the event is much shorter than you would have had otherwise. And then as you walk away from it, your masks just turn it off completely. They just hide the memory. Later on, somebody says, wasn't that a great sunset? And you try to think, the sunset, the sunset scene. I just don't remember it. Or, well, I think I went outside and looked at it for a moment, but I just don't remember what it looked like or felt like. The song is there all the time. It's you. And the feeling of your song is there all the time. All that beauty, all that love, all the knowledge, all the connectedness. It's there all the time. It's our programming from our culture. It's all the blind beliefs, the propaganda, the programming that has brainwashed us into living in all of those lies and the harshness and the fear and the anger and the frustration and the hate and all the rest of that nasty stuff, thinking that that's all there is. That's life. That's all there is. It's all you can expect. And it's your mask's job to do that. You can't blame them. Kadasi is a tradition of non-judgment, so we don't blame our masks. They're just doing their job. And they get very efficient at it. We have to learn if we're going to wake up, if we want to wake up, if we want to feel our song more and explore it more, we have to choose to start noticing that we have been remarkably programmed. Hugely programmed. Lots and lots of propaganda everywhere you go, everywhere you turn. And it's reinforced, constantly reinforced, blind beliefs about every aspect of your life. Every aspect. Blind beliefs about yourself. Blind beliefs about who you are. These pictures, a made-up picture that the people around you in society make up and pretend that this is you. They hold that picture up to you and they say, this is who you are, this is who you should be behaving like, and this is what we expect you to be behaving like and think like. And if we're asleep, we snap to and do. We follow the command, and we don't know any different. If we're going to wake up, we have to start noticing. We have to start questioning every single belief that we have held about anything and everything. Look at the beliefs about our food and the products that we live with and use on our bodies, in our house, every day. Society says that these are all really good. They're good for you. They're convenient. They're really nice. And they'll make you smell nice too. And the truth is they're poison. Complete poison. All those processed foods, all the additives, all this junk, it's poison. And we're trained to believe it, that it's good and it's okay. We need to start noticing, to make that agreement with ourselves, to choose to notice those things are not right and they're not okay. And they're blind beliefs and they're part of the programming. And if we're going to wake up, we have to step out of that box. When we can step out of the box, we feel our song and we see the world clearly. I hope that answers.
All right, we have a few more questions. We're just going to keep going. So if you have to run, we understand, but there will be a recording. So the next one is from JM. If something's triggered me and I begin ruminating on something negative and the pain is activated inside, how do I get out of that in a loving way without creating an internal battle and not create hate for that pain that's arisen?
The Whitaker has always said, never go to war with your masks. Never go to war with the negative thought forms and the blind beliefs. Because you're just feeding them your power. You're giving your power away to them. If you notice that you're in a mask and it's in your driver's seat and it's running the show and it's dredged up all this mask babble talk and all these emotions, difficult emotions that are attached to it, you can choose to stop feeling them. You can choose to stop listening to that babble. You can choose to stop believing any of it that it says and let it drift on by. Move your attention purposefully. When we're in the middle of all of that babble and the feeling of it, our attention is sitting in the middle of it. We're using up all of our attention, spending it like a bank account on those feelings and those thoughts and those beliefs. But we can collect that attention back purposefully and choose to stop the broken record, the babble, stop the feeling. We can just choose to stop feeling it and let it drift on by. There's a little teeny ceremony that the Whitaker taught about asking the Mother Earth to open up a special doorway to a special world, dimension, or whatever you want to call it, to a place that these masks and the thought forms and the blind beliefs and the bad feelings would think is heaven. It's a special place just for them, their kind of place. And the Mother Earth opens up this doorway and you point it out to these masks, to the blind beliefs, to the thought forms, to the feelings, and show them that doorway. That's heaven. Look, there's heaven. And they love it. They want to go. They're much more comfortable there than here, so they do. And you can help them, give them love, send them with love through the doorway. As soon as they're all the way through the doorway closes behind them so that nothing can come back into our world. And then you fill yourself and you fill the space with unconditional love and life energy, but mostly unconditional love. If we keep doing this, we clean up what's inside us, we unplug all that nasty stuff, we heal the world, sending it through Mother Earth's doorway.
I'm sorry, were you done?
Yes.
Here. You can read about this ceremony or this practice in our last blog post that was titled, I think it titled it Earth is Hiring. So it's in there. I can hardly wait to feel what it felt like to be a dinosaur. What fun. Sounds like an adventure. Brianna, I thought finding your song would be something more concrete. I'm not sure how to explain what I wanted in concreteness, but more direction. Take a left, stop, go. There you are, you found your song. Exploring your song internally seems very abstract.
That's it. It is, when you compare it to the way we have learned to learn things in our culture. What we're used to is lots of lectures, videos, charts, reading. Those are linear ways of learning, memorizing. And there's lots of these detailed kind of maps for doing things, how to find things, how to make something work. Katasi and all true spiritual teachings are experiential. The only way you learn is to experience, is to go through the experience of it. So it takes a little bit of adjustment for most of us to tune into the spiritual level, to this non-linear way of approaching things. Things that are non-linear, spiritual, they are experiential. They're identified by the feeling. Sometimes sensory feelings, sometimes it's the spirit senses, sometimes it's the feeling quality of what's going on inside you. The feeling experience. And once we realize what that actually is and how to tune into it, it's actually an awful lot easier than the linear approach to learning. It's much simpler, it's easier, faster. When we learn something from the experience of it, we learn volumes, written volumes worth. when we have an experience, like in the song ceremony, and we try to write about it, and try to write about every aspect that we could possibly write about, be as thorough as we can, it takes volumes to describe it. And then it's all linear description, which is okay, and it's a good start, and it's a way to share some of the experiences with others, especially if those people have had some of the experiences themselves. They can take the linear description and tune into the feeling and learn from that experience the feeling of it. So this is the way the song ceremony has been done for thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years. The Whitakers say that their people came somewhere 30 to 50,000 years ago from a land that sank in the Pacific. And they escaped to South America. Other people went up to North America. Other people went into Polynesia, Asia. And they've been doing these same practices and way of life for who knows how long before that, before they lost their land. And they also say that the humans were taught by aliens who lived among them in this land. The land's called Mu, or the other name is Lemuria. And the teachings come from star people who taught us many, many, many kinds of different things. The Whitakers worked really hard to keep their knowledge alive and exact, to not let anything change it or degrade it through all these centuries, because they knew that there would be a time when the world would need it again, and they would bring it out of hiding and share it with the world again. And that's now. That's now. So, in Katasi, practice is very valuable. A lot of these things need a lot of practice. They need a lot of repetition. And it's when we do these things in the nonlinear way, the spiritual way of learning things, there's no right or wrong, and there's no good or bad. There's no less than, better than. There's no way to fail. No possible way to fail. Because no matter what your experience is, you're gaining a huge amount of knowledge from the experience that you had. And we just keep collecting the experiences and collecting the knowledge. From the way we've been taught, it's our first thing that we jump to conclusions. First thing we jump to is that somehow it didn't work for me, or I'm not doing it right. And that's just not the way real spiritual teachings work. It's not the way the Whitakers' teachings or the way that people think. These people, they didn't even have a word in their language for judgment, for condemning. making less than, judging, pointing fingers, throwing black darts. They didn't have a word for it. So every time we do this, we get something different, we get something new, we get something more, and it all adds together. I hope that helps.
Great question. Thank you all for all your questions. I gotta find the rest of them. Oh, from Annika. Why don't we experience masks here on Earth? What's the purpose of the masks? Okay, I'm going to assume this should be, why do we experience masks here on Earth? What's the purpose of the masks? If it's not, let us know, Annika.
Okay. The Whitakers and the Egyptians and the Hawaiians, and probably many others, say that we choose to be born here on Earth. We choose to do this. This planet is not some kind of a have-to, a prison planet, a prison school planet, punishment planet. It's none of those things. It's a garden with an extreme variety of different opportunities. And we choose to come here. We choose when we're outside of time and space. When we're not in a physical body, we pick what we want to experience or what we want to try to experience. And we set up a stage that way. We pick the century that we want to be in because time is not relevant or is not a barrier when you're outside of time and space. So we pick the century that's going to be appropriate for the things that we want to learn. And we pick the continent and the country and the culture, and we pick the family and make agreements with the individuals that are going to be parents and children and siblings and all of that. And we pick them because they're going to be able to teach us what we're going to try to experience and learn. From the Spirit's point of view, we can only learn something if we experience it from the inside out. So even with something that might seem uncomfortable and a little strange and odd, like our modern culture is crazy. And we're so full of violence, there's wars and all that kind of stuff. So say you as a spirit, as your song, you want to learn about this craziness. You want to learn about this asleepness and the masks and the blind beliefs. Maybe you want to learn about violence. You want to learn about these wars. You would pick this time, maybe some other times that would give you the opportunity to learn this. And the right kind of location on the planet, a family, where there's bound to be a war or a lot of nasty things going on, so you could be right in the middle and be raised in it and learn it. Learn it from the inside out. And we do that because we have a big picture. We as a song, as an entity, we're looking at things from outside of time and space. We have a much, much bigger picture and a bigger perspective. And we need this knowledge for something, somewhere down the road. We want to understand it. And from that perspective, we don't hold a judgment on it. It's not right or wrong or better than or less than. It's about learning what it's about. For instance, we want to create a world in our near future that it doesn't have all these masks. It doesn't have all this programming and propaganda and blind beliefs and condemning and judgment and violence and hatred and fear. We want to create a world that doesn't run on those things. How do we do that? What does that kind of world look like? We have to know about what that kind of world is, and we have to know about what we don't want, what we're trying to get away from. The human species wants to get away from this imprisonment. And the only way to really understand how to do that thoroughly and completely and in a lasting way, to make that lasting culture that we want, we have to experience it from the inside out. We have to be born into a masky family. We have all of that around us, and we see it on the news, and we turn on our internet, and it's all over the place. And people making crazy, crazy decisions that are destructive. We have to learn what we don't want from the inside out. We have to learn what we do want from the inside out in order to build that world of our near future. And who knows what other kind of futures or what other kinds of places on other worlds, other planets, with other kinds of species and populations, where this kind of information is going to be required on an extremely deep interior level. So that that population, those people can understand it deep, deep, deep inside their song, deep inside their heart. And they can make the choices they need to make. It's a complicated issue, and it can be a difficult answer to listen to. But this is what the spirits say. They've been saying it for a long time. This is what the Edicts say. This is what the ancient Egyptians have talked about. This is what the ancient Hawaiians have talked about. And many other cultures. I hope that brings some answers and something that you can use as a tool to contemplate on, meditate on, or see if you can find it in a song ceremony to get answers for yourselves. I hope that helps.
One of the reasons we do ceremony is to learn about and learn in a deeper way about what we really want instead of what we see in the world today. I think that's a big part of it. I lost my place again. Oh, here we are. From Avril, thank you so much. I took a memory from today as suggested by Kay as a possibility. I haven't done that before in this ceremony. It was very helpful as I found my song whilst gardening. Being in nature with connectedness made me realize how beautiful this song is a symphony created when other songs join. A chicken, a dog, birds. Nice. Thank you for sharing.
That's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, we got some thank yous and beautiful, and I like the earth, that earth doorway for masks to go and be. Thanks. That's been a good one. That's always been a good one. Thank you for answering my questions. Greatly appreciate it. It's very helpful. You're welcome. And as I said before, thanks for asking all your questions. And if we are in song, is this where we can create our reality? If yes, do we just think and feel what we want to experience in our daily life? That's from Lorraine.
The head could just call that dreaming the dream. Dreaming the dream that you want, what you want to see in your life, in your daily life, and right now, and tomorrow, and 10 years from now. What do you want to see in the world? What kind of world do you want to see? What kind of culture do you want to see? We dream the dream. Whatever we're thinking on a lot, the most, that is what we're going to end up manifesting. We are a piece of Creator. That means, holographically, we hold all the attributes of Creator. We have creative ability. And we are creating every second of every day, whether we know it or not, or want to acknowledge it. It is a truth. If our mind is aimed, our attention is aimed into masks and mask issues and the thoughts and those feelings when we're asleep, we are going to manifest all of those things. We're helping to manifest them in our personal lives and in the world. Most people that are asleep, they do not have a very large life energy capacity, thank goodness, because the more life energy you have, the more awake you are, the more powerful your manifesting abilities are. So when we're asleep, our attention is scattered a lot. And it's scattered in many different directions, and we're trying to manifest all these very different, often opposing, masky things. And so that's what we see in our life. And in some ways, the fact that they are scattered and weak and opposing, they cancel a lot of each other out to certain degrees. But if you just look around in yourself, in your life, family, friends, daily activities, you can see where masky things are being manifested. And you can learn to follow that, track it back to what you personally are contributing to that. This is approached without judgment. That is, don't judge. You don't judge yourself. You don't blame yourself. No black darts. No bad me, bad you. It just is. It just is. And it's what we learned how to do. We came here to learn how to do it, so we're doing it. We did it. Did a good job. And now it's time to learn something different. Now it's time to learn something different, to let go of all of that programming stuff, unplug it, take our power back, take our attention back, get back in our own driver's seat, and make our own choices from minute to minute. And when we do that, we have more life energy. We have a lot more collection of our focus. And these things make our manifesting powers better, clearer, stronger. So when you dream the dream of something you really, really want, and you're learning to live your life in song, you'll be manifesting those things. And you'd be surprised with the people around you, how they respond to it. Our mates, our parents, our children, our best friends, many of them soften. You don't even have to be talking to them about this stuff. Just in your energy field and the way your own behavior changes, and your face, and the tone of your voice, all those things, they would just naturally change, soften. The people around you often soften. Some people get very interested and excited, and they want what you have, and they want you to show them what it is, share it with them, and that's good. And there are some people who this is not their thing for this lifetime. They don't want to wake up. They don't want to go anywhere near it. And you waking up and softening and being your song and all that incredibly beautiful, creative, loving energy flowing out of you all the time, it's difficult for them. And they will likely drift out of your life. That's okay. It's a good thing for them and you. You have made a difference in their life, even if it was only for a short time, and it does change things. So I hope that helps.
Okay. Jennifer had to go, but she thanks you so much. Beautiful to be with you all. I have to go, but I appreciate you all so much. Likewise, I'm glad you could join us. Mary, asking Mother Earth to open a door for masks, etc. Is it a win-win, like finding the message and illness is bringing us? Are our masks like an immune imbalance that we learned and now can choose to heal?
Interesting comparison. Win-win is something that came out of the Peruvian, Hawaiian, Egyptian traditions. Only they add a third, win-win-win. Sometimes there's two, but it's often three. Like when we're doing a healing, there's the person that's getting the healing, and there's the sickness, there's the healer, and the space around. So you could even think of that as four. But they say win, win, win. And that's because the masks win because they're going to heaven. And they aren't necessarily really happy with the job they have, being stuck inside you and being a dictator and a punisher. So they win big time. Mother Earth wins. Our area, our space around us, where we're living wins. We win. The other people around us win. Win, win, win. And little by little, inch by inch, one mask at a time, one junky thought form and blind belief at a time, we clean our world. And we see the difference that it makes through the years of learning this and doing this. I have seen the difference that it makes all over the world. They also used to say that in these times, the bridge times, the end of the old world, the old guard, those who wish to stay in that frame of mind, being asleep and living all the mastery ways, they get louder and more pushy, more violent. They can make it seem like a lot of things are getting way worse. But if you know what to look for and where to look, and you look all over the place, you can see we have been making a difference. I hope that helps.
Okay, this seems to be the last question from Wallace. I'm hoping to find my way out of self-sabotage and addictive behaviors that I've been working on for years. As I know I've got so much more to do here when I'm able to completely take this mask off. If there's anything you could say on this, I'd be most grateful. Thanks so much. I have been in a very deep space since you began this evening.
There's lots of methodologies out there available and traditions. Their target, their goal, is to help you with your psychological problems, mental, emotional habits, addictions, maybe substance addiction, and they're not terribly successful. Even the major religions have a real difficult time with this. We need to remember that you may not be addicted to a substance, but we're all trained to be addicted to our blind beliefs and our masks, to the programming. Very, very heavily addicted to it. And we have to realize that, acknowledge it, and realize that it's going to keep jumping back with fervor in a very habitual, repetitive way until we learn how to give up the addiction to it. And that's a choice. Katasi has the advantage of giving you the experience and the knowledge of the truth of your identity, who you really are. Katasi has song, gives you back your song. When we're born, we know our song. We are our song. There are no masks, there's no programming. We're pure song. We remember a lot of things about our song, other places we've been. All the love, the beauty, the excitement, the curiosity. That's what we're like when we're born. And we need to take that back. We need to retrieve that. It's buried. It's not gone. It's just buried. We need to reclaim it. That's our power. Our song, our attention is our power. And when we have that, that becomes the torchlight that lights our way on the roller coaster ride of waking up. And it certainly can be a roller coaster ride. But it's what we hold on to. It's what we go back to. It's what we keep trying to learn how to identify with all the time, to be. Hanukkah's call that being in our song, being our song. We want to just be that and not be the programming. Not live out the programming and all those pictures and the automatic behavior and the addiction. We want to be our song. So the more we know about our song, the more we experience our song, the easier it is to let go of all the masks and our addiction to that.
Okay. I think we're closing out here. I hope this helped. This answer helped. And thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for a beautiful ceremony, Kay.
You are very, very welcome. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. It is always an honor and a privilege. I thank you.
Give me just a second. Addicted to our programming and masks. Thank you. Our attention is our power. It's a choice. These are so grounding. Bless you. I will try to be my song and not the habitual stuff. Your energy is incredible. Thank you so much. The more you do the ceremony, the more it becomes natural to be in that space, to be that, and not live out the masks.
It is actually easier to be in your song and you use less energy just being in your song, being awake. It takes a huge amount of energy to continually patch up all those masks and all the blind beliefs and keep running on automatic power. We waste extraordinary amounts of energy doing that.
All right. Thank you again.
Thank you all.
Beautiful seeing you all.
I love you all.
Being in ceremony. I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes, it is easier to be in song.
Who said that?
Oh, Wallace. Beautiful. Okay. Bye-bye.